Welcome back, everybody, to your two favorite delinquents from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday. I'm Cale,
I'm Cam.
and today it's a college episode. Cam's gonna throw out some ideas about college, but also just one quick interjection while I have a minute. Good luck and to all the NFL or college prospects heading to the draft tonight. It is draft night officially in like 30 minutes. I wanted to send a little shout out to everybody that is there or watching from their house. Like, it's a big moment for you guys. Take it all in, enjoy it, appreciate it. So good luck to all of you. That's what I wanted to say. So
Hell yeah. No, I'm excited for everyone too, because we talked about it a little bit in our NFL episode. If you're a 7th round pick, go out there and grind and still super exciting. Like, that's the things that Kale and I like too. We like watching the later rounds. First round's cool. Does it take a little long? Yeah. But it's also, a lot of it we kind of know what's going to happen. But when it comes to like these later round picks, Kale and I are excited for those just to see who our teams get, but also players we like going other places. So it's all exciting. This episode shouldn't bleed into the draft starting. But if it does, you might just get a live reaction for like Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders. Like, oh my God. But honestly,
oh my God,
today,
we already know.
yeah, like when it comes to college, there's not a ton going on. It's a lot of spring games. There's some things to talk about there. Like, some teams aren't televising their spring games. This is a new like spring season. The portal was officially closed. I think last year, the year before, it kind of bled into spring ball. I think it was Georgia Tech. The head coach was saying how he's happy because now he can just let these guys go out and ball out and doesn't have to worry about them getting snagged this late in the off season. So that part's cool. There's some things that came out like Colorado had their spring game and everyone just cannot stop talking about how small they look and how they look apparently like a varsity high school team. I don't think they're the biggest team, but they're still a D1 college team. But so they were getting a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But what's new? What's new?
Yeah.
Colorado hate Deion Sanders. I mean, they looked a little flat, but there's other things like Chris Henry Jr.'s tearing it up in spring ball. Surprise, surprise. He looks amazing.
Imagine that.
Yeah, there's some other spring games that are coming up soon. Oregon spring games coming up soon. So, it's still cool if you can watch them. I don't know if it's a YouTube live stream. Some of them might be on ESPN. Like Florida had theirs and it was televised. Yeah. Florida's was kind of exciting. I kind of like watching Florida's. But again, the Florida hype is kind of like Texas A&M. It's going to be there.
Well, if you don't mind me interjection, who's the Florida quarterback?
It's probably going to be Aaron Philo. He was the backup at Georgia Tech last year. He had some, he had some meaningful snaps too. So like when Haynes King, because he would be running to the ground or if he got in garbage time. So he played a little bit, but I think he did throw 2 picks in a spring game. But again, that's spring game. I don't know. We can't really think too hard on that. But there are some other things to look forward to, though. And there's one thing that did happen a week ago that I want to talk about. Iowa had to vacate some wins from 2023 and 2024 because apparently there was some tampering, quote unquote, because we don't even know what that really is defined as, when they were getting Cade McNamara from Michigan. So don't know why they waited. Don't know if this was something they were investigating this whole time. But they did find them to have, I think it was impermissible contact. So basically, they were texting and calling him when he wasn't officially in the portal, like the head coach. I think the OC was. So I've seen a couple mixed things. Like ESPN says they've only vacated 4 wins. McNamara was 4-1 as a starter, and so that would take their 2023 record from 10-4 to 6-4. That's just it. It's wiped. But I did see some other articles saying they actually had to vacate wins from... Oh, sorry, that was their 2023 record. But they also had to vacate wins from 2024 because even though he didn't start, he played. So that would bring their 2024 record from 8-5 to 3-5. So they get a losing season.
That's a lot of losses, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying with the vacated wins. People are mad, rightfully so, because this is literally... There needs, like, again, happy that there's regulations, sure. But it's so few and far between when it comes to consistency,
Well, also, too, why is Iowa the one getting the spotlight on them? Like, Big Ten school, I understand that, but like, there's other schools who probably should be reprimanded more than Iowa.
100%.
Let's be so for real.
And we would say the same thing if it was any other school getting singled out.
Doesn't matter.
Something like this, because what did we just see this offseason? What did we just see with Darren Mensah from Duke?
Yeah,
we literally just saw that.
And then
Yeah, and then even, oh my God, dude, even Manny Diaz was saying things about it while it was happening before he even committed in Miami. We all knew it was coming.
I mean,
that was almost
he knew it was coming.
Yeah, that was almost a definition of tampering.
And that's bullshit. Like that's that's fucking tampering in my mind.
Yeah.
So there should be like a
Yeah,
no
exactly.
bueno.
So if you're gonna enforce it for Iowa, you should enforce it across the board when that happens.
Hold everybody to the same standard. I don't
Yeah,
care if the
100%.
fucking Jacksonville State or if it's Alabama or Oregon. They're all in college football. They're all D1. Like, I don't know.
100%.
It's stupid.
And then when it comes to like the vacated wins, it's not really a big deal. Like when I look back at 2023 Iowa, I'm still gonna think they went 10-4. You know?
I'm not going to really care about it at the end of the
No.
day because that's 3 years ago. You said
Yeah.
2023? Yeah, it's 3 years
2023 and
ago.
2024, they got vacated. It is what it is. It's just kind of funny. But there was also too a bunch of things that Iowa apparently self-imposed. And
Of course they did.
yeah, schools do this in the past. I got this little list on my phone. 1 year
Yeah.
of probation, a
Mm,
2-week no recruiting, like since this happened, a
yeah.
fine of $25,000 self-imposed. I don't know where that money comes from and who it goes to. Do they just pay themselves? Don't know. And then
Yeah.
a vacation of all records in which the student athlete competed while ineligible. So kind of like the wins, there wasn't any other records. I don't know, maybe a bowl game if you won the bowl
Yeah.
game. So it's just interesting that that happened. That's one of the bigger talking points right now. But is what it is. Again, consistency. We already talked about that when it comes to refs, when it
Yeah.
comes to everything, just consistency. But now that we got that out of the way, another
Yeah.
thing that I think is kind of funny. Alex Golish, did you see his comments?
The Auburn head coach
Yeah.
now?
So he made some
No.
comments that he's excited to be at Auburn and that everyone knows you couldn't win in South Florida in terms of natties.
Unfair statement, but
Also, why would you
not.
say that? That makes you look like a shitty coach.
That fucking asshole said that? What the?
Yeah, about his former school. Like that makes you look like a bad coach. You should have the mentality you can win a natty anywhere. Is it harder at South Florida than Auburn? Sure, because of
Yeah.
recruiting, boosters, all this. But South Florida's also kind of on the come up. They're getting a brand new stadium. They got some good boosters this last couple years, booster money. But again, like
I,
South Florida could have made the playoffs last year.
Also, not only that, but like after last season and what Indiana did, there is any
Exactly.
team in this college football that can win it. You just have to
Dude.
you just have to try harder.
And I know Florida was nothing special, but South Florida still winning at Gainesville, still got a 18-point underdog win at an SEC
Yeah.
school. They could have. And then Florida, beat Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, and Texas only lost to Ohio State by 7 points. Like, it's possible. Is it far-fetched? Sure. Is it harder? Yeah. But, I mean, that's just a dumb comment. Made me like him a little less because I liked him.
But that's also an excuse riddled like that's judging your character now, dumbass, because like
Yeah.
Byron Brown went with you, and I love Byron Brown, as we all know, in this past year. And unfortunately he's at Auburn. So it's like, what's your excuse now if you don't even make the playoffs at Auburn?
Dude,
Like
and
I don't know what to
Auburn's
tell you
not
now, buddy.
I hate to say it too, Auburn's not a guaranteed natty school. It's not easy to get
No.
to the playoffs at Auburn either.
No.
So, I don't know.
Not a chance.
It's just not my favorite mentality, especially, like, yes, he is a reason South Florida was on the map, but, it was the players, it was the school. Like, South Florida also helped him get to this next point in his coaching career, which is an
I
SEC
wholeheartedly
program.
agree with you,
So,
Cam.
I just didn't like those
Yeah.
comments. That was dumb. Not a huge fan.
Yeah, he needs to not say that shit. That's
Yeah.
really irritating to my
But
mind.
that was another thing that came out. But since we just talked about a couple of annoying things, I want to get to something that I'm excited for. And one of
I
the
know me.
things, a lot of people don't like it. I was on the fence at first when it comes to conference realignment and how there's no geographical sense. But let me explain it this way. Cal joining the ACC, Stanford joining the ACC. Everyone hated it. I hated it. But it led to some pretty fucking cool games. Like we had late night ACC matchups of teams we never see before. What did that lead to?
Mhm.
Remember Cam Ward and Miami going to Cal and almost losing? And then
Yeah.
Stanford upsetting Florida State last year.
Florida State, yeah.
Yeah, it leads to exciting matchups, and there's like some little rivalries brewing because even Cal this year goes to Florida State, kind of looked like it'd be a locked win, but no, that was one of Florida State's wins. So
Yeah,
it's exciting stuff like that. Or that was 2 years ago.
but also too, like I get the people in their realignment bias with like West Coast, and like people had a hard on with Washington, UCLA, and Oregon moving to the Big Ten.
And look at
And
that, it's been fun.
I didn't really give a shit, but I think it's been cool and fun,
Yeah.
low key.
I mean, even
Like,
Washington losing at Wisconsin in a freaking offensive blunder, like everyone was like, oh,
right?
like Washington, Oregon, all them, they're not going to fit into Big Ten style football. Washington fit right in by sucking on offense against a team they should have beat when they were ranked.
Yeah.
And what they do, they lost. And that's what happens. Like even too, like there was 2 years ago, their first time in the Big Ten, there was that stat of like for at least the first 8 weeks, every Big Ten team that had to travel far lost. Like remember
Yeah,
Michigan went to
yeah.
Washington and then USC went to Michigan and lost. Like that's cool.
Mhm.
Like there's already some little
Yeah.
rivalries brewing there. It's fun. So on that note, we get Pac-12 back. Is it a lot different? Yes, because it's only
Yep.
Washington State and Oregon State that are remaining. But then we have Boise
Yeah.
State, Fresno State, Colorado State, San Diego State, Texas State, which is the interesting alignment one, and then Utah State. But I'm excited for Texas State. I feel like they fit the mold with those teams.
What were
Hopefully,
they in the American?
no, or they were in, yeah, no, it
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
the
what I
American.
yeah, it was.
Was it?
Let's fact check it because we know football, right?
Yeah, it's something we should know. Yeah, it was the American. But yeah, so like they're joining. Oh yeah, because they got gassed on. They lost their last game, and then the school that beat them posted like have fun in the. No, they're in the Sun Belt. They're in the Sun Belt, the Fun Belt.
Either way.
But yeah, so they're joining.
Either way.
I think they fit the mold. This should hopefully lead to some better recruiting. I mean, Pac-12 now is a Group of 6 conference, but
Yeah.
they can still secure TV deals, all that stuff. We might get Pac-12 after dark again, which would be really fun. But with that too, there's some other movement. So the Mountain West lost obviously half of their teams. So it remains unchanged for the most part, but they're adding 3 new teams. One of them I'm really excited for because we talked about them joining for the longest time. North Dakota State is the one that's
Love
coming
that.
up.
Finally.
They have a good chance to do it like James Madison did when they joined. They have a good chance to push for the conference championship, so that'll be really fun. They are getting NIU, which is the one I don't like, but that's only because
That's stupid.
I'm just such a Mac fan, and they're ruining my Mac
Should have
right
stayed in the
now.
back.
And then UTEP. I kind of like UTEP. I mean, they're bottom of the barrel, Conference USA at first, but now they're moving over. I'm kind of excited.
Mm.
I mean, they're nothing great, but they might be bottom of the barrel again. But still, that move's fine, because Mountain West geographically it still could make sense.
Yeah.
And then the MAC. Speaking of the MAC, they get UMass, which UMass is
They need to join a conference.
they're trash anyway, but maybe now
garbage.
they can win a little bit. They're going against Kent State, Ball State, some
Or
bad
they
teams,
lose.
and that is what it is. The one that I don't like too, I know I just talked about how I like it all. Sac State. I really wanted them to join the Mountain West, but I am really excited they're at least coming up to the FBS. I think they got kind of screwed over. They have money. They got money. They're like I
Where's
think they're
Sac
building up
at?
Sacramento State,
No, I know that.
California.
Where what did no, I got that
Oh,
the butthole.
they were in the
I was
FCS
division.
Yeah, FCS.
Okay. And
Yeah,
now they're moving up, right?
yeah, so they were in the Big Sky. They play teams like Cal Poly, Montana State, like all those schools. So they're moving
Yeah.
up. They have a ton of money, building like a $40 million stadium. They hosted 5-star recruits in the last couple of years. Like they're making some traction. They had a ton of money when they were like saying basically we have the money, we have the booster backing, we have everything, but they kept getting shot down. They wanted to join the Pac-12, got shot down. They wanted to join the Mountain West, got shot down. So it's kind of like they went with their last choice pretty much with the Mountain West. I think they can do all right there. I just wish them, or with the MAC, but I wish the Mountain West would have taken them. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that they're in it because they should be in it. But also, like, the coolest thing about this for me is that we get to 2 new teams in the college football 27 game.
Yeah, so far we got 2 teams last year. I mean, Delaware actually and Missouri State played decent. Like Missouri State actually had a really good year. And I mean, Delaware did too. So it was exciting to see both of them in there. So I'm excited for these 2. North Dakota State will obviously have higher expectations, but I think they could, maybe like 8 wins. Like, I think they can get 8 wins.
I mean, they took Colorado to overtime, right? 2 years ago?
And then there was
Week 1?
they've beaten FBS teams before. Like, it's nothing new.
They can do it.
They're the Alabama of FCS.
Yeah, it's about time they decided to move up, honestly.
100%. And so I'm excited for that. This is some of the conference realignment stuff. On the note of conferences, real quick, before we get into a little bit of some exciting upcoming content that Cale and I are going to be doing, I was looking at some non-conference games. I have 4 here. We're gonna do something later where we look deeper, maybe do like a top 10 non-conference games. But I got 4 here that I'm really excited about. That I just want to plan, something to look forward to because I know the offseason can be long, especially when the draft ends. It feels like it's even longer. Week 1 in Nashville, Louisville versus Ole Miss. That's a cool non-conference matchup.
I like that.
And that could be exciting. I mean, obviously, Ole Miss, Trinidad, everything that went on with Lane Kiffin. Still, they're a playoff team. They pushed hard in the playoffs. They're expected to be a playoff team again. Kewan Lacey came back. A lot of the receivers came back. So they're probably gonna be the favorites. But Jeff Brom, his record against ranked teams, especially I think his top 6 teams, is great.
Mhm.
Like, dude is 4-0 last time I checked.
Well, Louisville beat Miami last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
get upset wins, and then they might go 8-4, 9-3, but they get upset wins, especially when it comes to playing ranked opponents. Jeff Brom even did it at Purdue. Like, a lot of his big wins were when he was with Purdue. I think it's 2-2 now. He has 2 upsets there in the top 6 and 2 at Louisville, so I just wanna put that out there. I think that's gonna be a fun
Easy
game.
peasy,
Uh,
easy peasy.
this one is gonna be overhyped. I still think it's a big game. Ohio State at Texas, week 2.
Honestly, Cam, just to interject my point of view, I'm actually excited for that. I'm more excited than I was this past year with week 1 because that game was fucking boring. But with the additions that Texas made and Cam Coleman, I'm actually kind of excited for this game again. I don't want to drink the Texas Kool-Aid, but they did give
No,
me
we don't
hype with
have
the
to.
offseason and everything.
Yeah, and also too, this is a new, I guess, outlook on Arch Manning because in the past it's been hype, 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 hype.
Yeah.
Now it's hey, you have to prove it. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see Arch Manning with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, hopefully, because like
for sure.
every time you see Arch Manning in any Instagram post, any rankings of like players I'm excited to see, he just gets shit on. It's like
Yeah.
I think that might push him to be better and be what we expected. Again, he wasn't trash last year. It's just the expectations
No.
were so high that what I think about with this is like Sam Howell in North Carolina, amazing freshman year, just dipped down. But again, he wasn't trash. It's just the expectations were set so high that people expected
Yeah.
more. And then if you give them slightly above average, it's not the same. So I think that's the same thing going on with Arch. So I am excited for that game. Like you just mentioned Cam Coleman being there. He's made comments like it wasn't even hard to make a connection with Arch, probably, in terms of like
Yeah.
on the field. So like I'm excited for that. Obviously, Ohio State stack. Let's see how they do without Brian Hartline. I think
Yeah.
that's another key, and it's on the road. And obviously, too, we've seen like if either team loses this game and then wins them all, it's not going to matter at the end of it. But I think
No.
it could also derail. Like if you're Texas and you lose this game at home, it might derail your season even that early on. You might falter.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. We'll see.
So I'm excited for them.
As of right now, I'll put my pick in. I think Ohio State still gets the W, but we got a couple months before the actual season starts. But as of now, it's Ohio State.
I'm excited for that one.
So,
And then I got 2 Notre Dame games on here because this happened last year. They had 2 big non-conference games. They lost them both and then got mad that they weren't in the playoffs. And now
yeah,
there's that little discrepancy in there where if they're ranked top 12, they're making the playoffs.
I fucking hate that rule.
Yeah. So I have 2. Actually, technically, Notre Dame has 3 like decent matchups this upcoming year. The number 3 one that I'm not going to talk about right now is the SMU. SMU, they're not bad. Did they get fucked when they went to the playoffs? Yeah, but it's okay. They're not a bad
Yeah,
team.
well,
Like when they actually like hit their stride, they're a good team and they're returning a lot of talent. So that's number 3. But week 7, they're at BYU. BYU's not an easy
oh
place
yeah,
to play. And
Bear
Bear
Bachmeyer.
Bachmeyer surprised a lot of people, including me last year. Like
Yeah,
that dude's good and he's tough.
and
So
he's a tank too.
yeah. So
He's a big boy.
BYU at home, that's not an easy dub at all.
No,
So
no.
that game's going to be a real big test for Notre Dame. That's what I'm excited for because I don't even think they have their quarterback situation figured out. I think it's most likely CJ Carr, but I think there's still a
Yeah,
little bit of like I don't want to say battle, but still some questions up in the air.
competition.
Yeah, and then week 10, Miami at home. They play at home. They play Miami. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. I mean, Miami could be same type of level they were last year. I think they upgraded a
Yeah,
quarterback.
Jared Mitchell, Cooper Barcate, and I
Yeah,
mean, you got
they
oh
got
my
both the
God,
Duke
Mark
boys.
Fletcher, and
They
yep.
still got
I
Tony.
mean,
Dude,
yep. I'm
they're.
excited.
I mean,
I'm excited.
their defense is going to have to reload a little bit, but
Yeah,
they could be a better offense, and then that could kind of offset the defense needing to reload a little bit.
and honestly, Notre Dame kind of has me excited just with the acquisitions they made
Oh,
with
dude,
those 2
yeah. I
Ohio
mean,
State wide
yeah.
receivers flipping over there. I mean, come on.
No, it's gonna be fun. I
Yeah,
mean, they are losing Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that was they're not gonna
That's
get
bound
that
to
same
happen.
level, so they're just gonna have to do with what they got at running back. But those are like some of the most exciting matchups that I saw. There's still
I'm
some other
excited.
ones. Like there's a
I'm
lot of
excited.
group of 6, I guess, versus power 4 that we're gonna get to in a later episode. And obviously one that I'll always talk about with those is Old Dominion at Virginia Tech. They got their
Oh yeah,
number, but now it's James Franklin. Let's see what James Franklin
yeah.
can do at Virginia Tech because dude,
Different
Old
monster.
Dominion's been owning them. At
Oh
least
yeah,
like the
dude.
last 3 games are 2-1. against Virginia Tech, and it's always on the road. It's always
Damn.
on the road because they're supposed to be the little brother cupcake that Virginia Tech gets, like a a nice little in-state warm-up game. But Old Dominion's just been running them, so that one I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Always gonna be excited for that one. But yeah, just to I guess go right into like some upcoming content that we're gonna be
Yeah.
dropping, and again, it's gonna be probably 2 episodes of college a month for now because we're doing a little flip.
Yeah.
You actually might lose an episode in July because the week it falls on is the week I'm getting married. So there might be like a fun
You mean June, buddy?
June. There might be a fun little drunk episode, but that's
I'm down
because
for
we'll
that.
be together. But you might miss an episode of college there. But some of the things we're getting into, we're gonna do some top tens. And it's gonna be Cale bringing up his top 10, me bringing up my top 10. We're gonna go quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, O line units. I'm sorry to any big guys that are watching.
Not individual O
Nah, we're
linemen.
gonna do
Sorry,
some
guys.
units because we know like Jordan Seaton, one of the top O linemen.
Dude, that
A
dude's a
lot of
fucking tank. Have you seen the
yeah.
photos of him from
Oh
Colorado to
yeah.
LSU? Holy shit.
Well, again, he's got a lot of hype, but we're gonna look at the
Yeah.
units combined because there might be some surprises out there. Like in the past, like Wisconsin usually has a good line. We're gonna look at that.
Mhm,
Iowa
mhm,
usually has a
mhm.
good line. Oregon a couple years ago had a great O line,
Yep.
amazing. And what some of the factors that plays into it? How long they've played together. But then we've seen that bite us in the ass before. 2 years ago, Illinois we thought was gonna be a lot better O line unit because again they played together for so long. They were garbage. So a lot of things we're gonna look in there. Might have some disagreements. Defensive units. We're gonna look at defensive units, but then we're also gonna look at the D line. We'll combine D linemen like nose tackles with D ends. Then we'll look at linebackers, and then we'll combine DBs for a top 10 of
I'm for it.
DBs.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
And then we'll get into some matchups that Kale and I are really excited for. And then
Yes.
two, like we'll know more in the coming months of QB battles that got sorted out.
Yeah.
Alabama,
Yeah.
it's actually still a question mark. I know there's favorites, there's odds out there, but we'll look at some QB battles, maybe some quarterbacks that we're excited for too, in terms of like maybe they didn't make the top 10, but like
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold at UNLV, last chance you basically with what they've
I'm
been for the
excited
last
for that,
couple
man.
years. Yeah. So
Now,
we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. But yeah, obviously, again, tonight's the draft. So we're going to have an NFL draft recap episode next week, which is low key a mix of college and NFL. I mean, we're going to be talking about both in retrospect, like with the
yeah.
college players, how their seasons went. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited for. Again, kind of spread out episodes for now just because it's the off season. But I mean, we got our equipment up, we're linking accounts. So once the season starts getting closer, we're gonna do a lot more. One of the things I love doing every year is a spreadsheet of every single game and predicting
Yeah.
the record of
Yeah.
every team. I'll drop some of my predictions there. Been doing pretty well on that. And then when it comes to week 0, there's week 0 games. So we'll talk about some week 0 picks when we get closer.
And a little interjection, and we're redundant with what we want to do in this podcast, but honestly, it's not a bad thing just because we don't know who's tuning in. This could be your first episode. Hell, you could be a listener since episode 1. But I know Cam and I have talked about at length on the pod and off the pod about starting a Patreon,
Oh yeah.
letting you guys see the full spreadsheet of both Cam and I's picked, and also talking to us one on one. Again, same with the Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, like commenting on there. Cam and I check that pretty frequently. So if there's a comment that's being made, we will respond to you guys.
Oh,
Most
100%.
definitely. And we'll
100%.
probably like chat behind the scenes and be like, hey, XYZ just posted this on this. What do you think we should say back? And we discuss it. So like we want to hear from you guys. We can't stress that how much. Like we want to hear from you. It is important to us that you guys comment to us too, because we like it's genuine. We want to know.
Yep, 100%. And then too, like if you were on our Instagram last year, you would see mostly after the fact, just trying to build my credibility. But then it started getting like we would drop our upset picks, and we were doing real well when it comes to college
We're pretty
football
spot on,
upset
man.
picks. I
Yeah.
mean, like we have it all there. We would and again we talked about it in the episode before the weekend
Yep.
happened. So if you listened to the episode before, you followed along some of them. Like I know one of our friends, Hunter, he followed along on a few picks, made a little
Yeah.
bit of
Yeah.
money. Like,
Yep.
you don't know. And then too, when the Patreon comes in, like instead of you only getting 6 upset picks, you'll see the full slate. And it'll be,
Yeah.
like maybe color coded, like this is an upset pick, this is a lock, but like let's be real, a lot of the locks are gonna be like crazy odds that might not even be worth betting. But we'll do a deep dive episode eventually too. But that's really like that's all I had today. I mean, quick episode, but we're excited for the draft. Kale and I are gonna be probably FaceTiming for it so we can talk about picks and everything.
Like what
That's all
one?
I got, Kale. Do you got anything else?
No, I'm good. We talked about this behind the scenes, like quick, easy peasy episode with college football. But as you said, I don't want to reiterate it too much. We're gonna watch the draft now, guys. But yeah, that's it, man. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Liking, subscribing helps us in the long run. Again, we want to put the last episode's video on YouTube
We
too. We're
will do
still
that.
working
That's
on
my
that.
fault. That's my fault.
It's like we're again totally new system for Cam and I. We're trying to learn it. We're gonna put all this on Spotify, Apple Music. We're gonna connect it all. So just bear with us on that. It's all coming.
Oh yeah.
We're baby steps for us. But yeah, this is your two favorite boys from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday. We'll see y'all next week. See y'all. Bye.